So you live in New Mexico now. When you tell people you're from Frederick, how do you describe it?
Nobody really cares. I mean, the fact is, I love Frederick, and I show pictures, I say, oh, look at these gorgeous pictures during Christmas of the creek. I say, oh, wow, thanks to some very smart people who had some vision, and I count Kara Norman, Richard Griffin, Ron Young, Jennifer Doherty, and hosts of others who had a vision for Frederick and made it happen. And there were so many people who were trying to do the same thing in their own downtown area. And I thought, oh, well, it's easy. Frederick did it. It's not easy. There's so much buy-in you have to have. And people all have to kind of be on the same page about what it is you're trying to do. So when I tell people, I say, oh, this place is on top 10 list of destinations, and people go up there from, DC just to hang out for the weekend. I mean, it's a destination. There's lots of cool restaurants and shopping downtown. And, I like to talk about how the politics changed. When I was on the radio on WFMD, my tagline was, I'm your Isle of Blue and a Sea of Red. Well, I can't really say that anymore because look at Frederick's demographic. Look at the elected officials. They're all Democrats. So it's very different now.
So then what is the secret to the success here? It seems if you boil it all down, it's more attitude than anything else.
I think consistency and persistence, because people change jobs. And when a person leaves, the new person that comes in may have a wholly different view. And I remember that Carroll Creek seemed to be a driver, an economic driver. But for 20 some years, it was just concrete. And great swaths of concrete. I can't tell you how many stories I wrote about downtown revisited, and we would just keep saying, oh, when are we gonna have something on the creek? Well, then Ron Young puts what we call Tinker Toys. I thought, what the heck is this supposed to be about? It just looked like, and it wasn't even attractive. It was just some kind of wooden things hammered together for what, I'm not sure. But it didn't fool anyone. We knew that wasn't development. Jennifer Doherty pounded on that because the two mayors after Ron, Paul Gordon, he was an accountant. He wasn't going to put he thought Ron wasn't good financially for the city, so he wanted to tighten the purse strings. Jim Grimes, I'm not sure why. I wasn't really covering the city then. I'm not sure what held him back, but Jennifer Doherty came in, what these men couldn't do in 22 years, she did in 4. I mean, every development, every piece of development on that creek, every bridge, every business, it's because of her. And she doesn't get the credit for it because Ron, it was his vision. But I interviewed Ron when he was still mayor, and he gave a lot of credit to a group of women who were in the Garden Club then. And they had been to San Antonio and seen the Riverwalk. And they were so excited. They said, here's a vision for our. So it was a community effort. Here's a vision for Carroll Creek. And they insisted that he go on a trip with them and see what the possibilities could be. And he did. And I think once Ron got on board with that, Ron Young, he saw we really need to fix that up because the rest of downtown will follow. He used to go door to door, he told me, and knock on these businesses and get them to try to stay open past 5 o'clock. He said, we need a nightlife here. And he saw it and he knew, but it was a very hard sell. One time I came home from college. I'm so old. And I came home from college and my friend was home from college and she said, hey, let's go to Frederick. And I said, oh, Lucas McCain's, which is a bar we used to go to, I don't know, up the street off of Jefferson somewhere. She's like, no, let's go downtown. I'm like, downtown at night? Why? Why would we go downtown at night? Oh, there's two bars and they play music and it's a bar. And Ron had just had that parking deck built on Church Street, which is the first parking deck, I think. So it was a big deal. Oh, let's go downtown and park in the parking deck and go to the bars. Well, it was so dark down here and there still weren't that many people. We went into one bar and then we wanted to walk several blocks up to the other one and it was so dark, I insisted that we run in the middle of the street. So we're running down Market Street to get to another bar because there wasn't any traffic. And I think about that now and I think, times have changed a lot.